Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Okay, I've got you. Yeah.
There we go. This is just loads of fun of doing something live.
Yeah.
So much fun. You know, I did a live show on Comcast here in Portland for a couple of years, and let me tell you, nothing gets adrenaline going than having a technical glitch on live TV.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
That would
like,
be.
I am not stressed about this in the least. I mean, please. We've got this. And you know, the wonderful thing is that this goes into editing afterwards. So the finished project tomorrow doesn't have all the fun parts.
Yeah, just chop it up.
Exactly. So, okay. So Peter, thanks again for joining me. And like I've been telling people, you are what I would consider to be a super fan of the show, The Walking Dead. So you're going to be our resident expert tonight.
Oh boy, it's a lot of pressure.
Okay. So, but before I get into all that, I just want to kind of talk about something else really fast, and that is you're more than just a fan. I mean, you actually have kind of a neat connection to the show because I do believe we have had, not we, me, just you, had a video that quite literally has gone viral. So tell us about that whole project and tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. It's been kind of a weird journey in general. Basically, a friend of mine introduced me to another friend who he and his father do really great work. They do a lot of video production stuff. But basically, what it was I wanted to take. There's a villain that's coming up on The Walking Dead that I won't get too into for spoiler reasons, but I really wanted to see something that would kind of drum up a lot of interest on the internet. And I had, you know, nerd alert, but I had gone as him to Comic-Con as like a cosplay costume. So I said, you know what, let's take the costume, let's make it a reality. I took it out into the industrial area of Northeast Portland, and we shot a quick video, chopped it together in a weekend, and put it up on YouTube. And it's been a really great experience for me. It's gotten shared all over the place. Apparently, it's gotten cut up and kind of shared with other people. It's hit several hundreds of thousands of hits and views. So it's been pretty exciting. Yeah.
That is very cool. What an awesome thing to do, like an homage to like what I'm guessing is one of your favorite shows.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, it's got a little bit of something for everybody. So it's definitely one of those shows that I feel like I don't find myself in any one channel of show or genre or that sort of thing. I definitely try to have kind of a wide interest that can bring other people in. So at its core, it is very much a zombie show or kind of a horror show, or it's got some suspense and thrills and that sort of thing. But there's a lot more to it than that too.
And that's kind of good that I wanted to kind of get that out, that you don't just watch a zombie related material, that you watch a broad range of material. So this, you know, kind of getting the people to know you a little bit better, Peter. So that way they think, well, he's just a zombie freak. I don't want people thinking.
That's great.
Okay, so let's talk about this show, Walking Dead. All right, this is what I know about it. I believe there's zombies in it, and they chase people around, and that's it. So how am I going to get into a show, you know, episode after episode, if that's all they do? Because I think I got it.
It's tough to argue that, because again, at its core, it's very much a zombie show. I'm not going to lie, there are definitely some parts that'll make you kind of cringe or cover your eyes or peek through your fingers, that sort of thing. You've got to look at the humanity of it too. In the very first season, in the first two seasons, you've got kind of a buddy cop dynamic between two of the main characters. It's very much a family situation too. There's all kinds of different family members that are dealing with stressful situations, not only personally between their group, but not knowing what may have happened to their family. So I would almost argue, I guess, if you look at the show first and foremost like it's people reacting to a crisis, so say you know, Hurricane Katrina or any natural disaster, that might get you past maybe the kind of the blood and guts part of it at first, and kind of get you a little bit more into the personal relationships.
So would you say that you start to get attachments to a lot of the characters?
Definitely, yeah. I think everybody's kind of got their favorites, and it's tough to keep favorites because much like Game of Thrones or any other show that has come about lately, they love letting us invest in a certain character, and then things don't always go that character's way. So I mean, without spoiling too much, it's very easy to get attached and then, you know, feel that a lot.
Game of Thrones. That's a whole other episode.
Mm.
So, were you a fan, or did you watch True Blood?
Yeah, so I've seen a little bit of True Blood. Um, Pun intended. It's in the same vein as far as kind of investment between characters or kind of interactions between characters, dynamics, kind of butting heads, and people kind of coming together. It's very much its own show, though. It's something that, again, just a lot of family dynamics, a lot of kind of buddy dynamics, that sort of thing that are going on, and yeah, but it does draw a comparison for sure. I've definitely thought of that myself.
And that's kind of good to know too, because it sounds like to me there's multiple layers to it. There's multiple stories and stuff. It's not just zombies chasing people around.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where I think AMC first and foremost brought it on as sort of, they wanted to tell the story. AMC, has got Mad Men, they've got Breaking Bad, they've got all these shows that are very, very plot driven. They're very character driven, and I think that that's ultimately where they wanted to start and kind of go from. They also, of course, wanted to grab a different kind of audience that needs a little bit of action, a little bit of excitement, and I think this mixes both pretty well.
So do you remember the first time when you watched that first episode? Was it like immediately like, whoa, wow, this is a great show, I'm going to watch this show? Or did it take you to get a couple episodes to get into it?
I think it's like any other show that it does take a couple episodes to get into it. I will tell you, the first thing that I remember noticing about the show was one of the original promotions, which just showed the main protagonist, Rick, riding his horse into Atlanta with just a bare bones highway, nothing on it but empty cars. And to me, that was just this kind of this cowboy against the world sort of time is all of a sudden turned in reverse, and he's riding his horse into town. It takes on this whole different perspective when people have sort of got to survive and do different things. So it definitely kind of lit me up in that sense. But yeah, that first episode definitely grabs onto you, and it does a really good job of kind of keeping your attention for sure.
What would you say the biggest misconception about the show is? Because I think there's definitely some out there. Because I do look at social media, so I saw comments on Facebook, and I saw some stuff like that. So I thought it was very interesting. So what would you say, in your opinion, would be the biggest misconception about this show?
I think the biggest misconception is probably, and I feel like kind of a broken record here, but it is sort of the whole, blood and guts, zombies, and horror trope versus kind of a fully fledged show. And I'm not going to lie, just like any other show, there are definitely episodes where you have to kind of, you can appreciate it more on reviewing, that sort of thing. I love the show all the way through. There are definitely episodes though that I can kind of do without, or that maybe feel like they're a little bit weaker in terms of the writing or in terms of kind of what's going on. But it's something that I think everybody should definitely check out. It's something that, I would never deter anybody from watching it. At the same time, I know that the whole zombie and horror thing isn't for everybody, so it's kind of tough to push those people through it. But the best thing I would say is just, it's a great show full of well-written characters. These characters interact on a lot of different levels in a lot of different ways, and things go very right in a lot of ways and very wrong in a lot of ways, and it challenges people. And for me, it's challenged me as a viewer to kind of, like who I want to like and not like who I want to like, and so it's been good.
And I have to admit, I mean, I was a True Blood fan. I did watch the entire series from beginning to end. I'll admit the story was getting a little strained towards the last couple of seasons, but yeah, I hung in there. So that sounds, that sounds good. So and kind of exciting, and it sounds like it'd be like a fun show, and it sounds like it's something that's really, really different than what's already out there. Like you said, when you use comparisons on that network, it's definitely not in the same genre as Mad Men or some of those other shows.
Yeah.
And do you know when it comes on? It comes on, is it Sunday nights?
Yeah, so Sunday nights AMC. I believe the West Coast feed is 10 o'clock. So that would be the time to kind of check that out or tune in. I want to say Netflix has probably the first 5 seasons on there. So if you're a Netflix person, or if you've got somebody with access to Netflix, that's the place to go. There you are. Yeah. I mean, I would pretty much just catch up on Netflix, and I will tell you the hardest part for me is where one season ends and then you've got to wait until October to wait for that next episode. So you might kind of you might pace yourself out until October just to kind of do yourself a favor there. But.
Just to do it that way. Well, and too, yeah. And I'm kind of getting used to that, especially with Game of Thrones and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what's on the horizon now for you? Now that you made this incredible like little video for, I mean, and is it, I don't know, in homage to this TV show? Is there another video that you're planning? Is there going to be a follow up? What's in store for you next?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about fleshing that out a little bit more. There's some footage left over that I would have liked to have used. We kind of want to go out and shoot some more anyway. I think even with, again, I don't want to get into it too much or spoil too much, but even with this character being introduced towards the end of this season, I think that there's still there's a lot of people ready to see more of him, or they want any little tidbit of information, that sort of thing. So, I'd be lying if I wasn't saying I'm exploiting a little bit of kind of that tension to sort of generate some interest. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, I want people to kind of see a little bit of what I'm seeing in these characters and maybe get a little bit more interest garnered in the show in general.
Fantastic. Very cool. And really quick, I want to do a shout out. I see some stuff on Twitter. So thank you guys. Thanks for the support. Thank you to, I don't know who this person is, and I don't even understand what you did, but it sounds really cool. You're more technical than I am. They said they synced our feed to live stream or something with hashtag Walking Dead for others to watch it there. So thank you for taking the time to do that. You guys are just, I have the best followers. I see that all the time. My followers are the absolute best. All 4,000 and some of you now. I love every single one of you guys. So thank you. So you have to give love to the Twitter people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. That's great.
That's awesome. Well, there we have it. So guess what? I'm going to put it on record right now that due to this conversation right here with my man Peter, I have been inspired, and I am going to watch this show, The Walking Dead, in the next couple weeks. I am going to do it, and I will probably tweet and maybe Snapchat it when I do. Right. I'm not so sure about the Snapchat thing because I'm still I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm inspired. Any other last minute things that you think I need to know about this show before I embark into The Walking Dead?
The only other thing I would say is that there's just like with Game of Thrones we mentioned before, and that's a whole other conversation we won't get into. There's of course the source material for The Walking Dead. If anybody's looking into reading the source material, that sort of thing, I'd probably recommend grabbing like the compendiums or they're kind of about as thick as a phone book there, and that's that's one of 3 of them. So this has been a graphic novel since I want to say like 2005. It's 153rd issue now, or it's coming up on that pretty quick in April, I believe. The source material alone, they've got seasons for years. So if you're interested in more of it, I would say definitely check out the source material. It does vary from the show, so you can get a lot of good kind of side information or just different looks at different characters. But yeah, I guess that's what I would say.
It would be cool if I could get caught up, and maybe I could have you and a mutual friend of ours, Sam, and we could do like a Walking Dead match face-off on who knows it more.
I'd be all about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure he sees that. At least I'll just edit that clip for him, just for him, so he can see that. That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be great.
So there we have it. All right. So and if you do another video, I would let me know, because I want to debut it here because I found out how I can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be all about that. That'd be great.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, these are just conversations. I like to keep them short and everything else. So I want to say thank you for your insights and inspiring me to catch the show The Walking Dead. I am going to do it. And again, congratulations on your video going viral. That is like every YouTuber's dream, right?
Yeah,
I've done like 300 videos. When am I going to get one that goes viral? People, come on. Give me a viral video.
We'll get you there.
Okay, I might have to make a cameo in your next video.
We could definitely do that. I'd love it.
All right. Thanks again, Peter. Have yourself a great night. And to all of you guys out there, thank you guys for tuning in. And I can't wait for you guys to hang out with me again as I have another conversation with someone else. I mean, I already know who it's going to be, but I'm going to announce it later because that's how I like to do things. And thank you guys for all your support. Peter, one last time, thank you. And everyone, have a great night.
Thanks, guys.